after 3 years of going to the gym, I put on more muscle than I have in my whole life in the last 8 months. Here's how I'm going to show you how I put on 15 pounds of muscle. I'm looking better than I ever have, and why you should actually listen to me. Because you're probably on this video because you're looking for some real advice, and everything you've tried probably hasn't worked, which is why you're looking for something actually realistic and some results you can attain as someone who is skinnier and just doesn't have the genetics that everybody else has online and is natural. That's a big thing, right? You don't want to be taking advice from someone who's on gear and you actually can't look like them unless you're taking steroids as well. And so I'm going to break down where I started, which if you're watching this video, you probably are too. And so I was extremely, small. I was like 135 pounds, 5'10", very imbalanced because I played a lot of sports. So my hips, my shoulders, I didn't have the correct form, and that just compounded over time with a lot of injuries that kept on derailing my progress, which is why one of the most important things is actually injury prevention. Because if you can just stay consistent, stay in the gym, inconsistency is the biggest killer of progress, which I've personally experienced firsthand. Because you and I both know if you get injured or you can't train as you want to for a couple weeks, couple months, that can get extremely demotivating and hinder your progress as well. And so over the last 18 months, I consistently actually gained more mobility, more strength, and more muscle following a system that I can actually follow. And the system I'm using, it's the ATG. It's founded by Ben Patrick. I highly recommend you go on YouTube, you look him up. If you want to get more athletic as well as building muscle, follow this, because you'll not only get more mobile, more athletic, and stronger, you'll be in the best shape of your life as well. And so the training that I'm following, and you can follow as well, is simply the push-pull legs, right? And I've modified this a little bit to my own liking because everything's personal, right? Everything you do needs to actually work for you, and this is what works for me. So I start off by doing push day, and it's the power raise. That's the first exercise I do, and I do every exercise. I do 4 sets of 12. Okay, because I realized if you do, some people say that the low rep range, builds more muscle, which is true. I'm not denying that. But if you're trying to gain more mobility and just make sure you don't get injured, if you're going max all the time, you're going to develop imbalances. And that's why I'm going to go for the rest of this year in the higher rep ranges. And then I'm going to cut that down once I get the form dialed in. Okay, so the power raises, that's really addressing my shoulder immobility and just making sure my scapula is moving correctly. Dips is just the best exercise you can do. Okay, it hits everything. It feels really good. It improves your posture. Yeah, everything in the upper body. And shoulder press, actually the ATG shoulder press. That's a shoulder press where it's not the normal one with the close grip. You actually are pressing behind you, so you hit the lateral delts, which actually opens up your chest, which is the theme of this, is to really open up everything, and everything is full range of motion. Okay, and if you're still watching this video, you've probably never heard that before. You've probably not been going full range of motion because you lift less weight, right? But if you are going full range of motion, you'll have more time under tension. And that's proof of that, right? And so for the pull day, just lat pull downs, everything is full range of motion. Okay, remember that. Everything is full range of motion. Lat pull downs, cable rows, and curls. And legs, actually quite interesting, okay? Because these exercises are created by Ben Patrick. The ATG split squat, it's going viral. You've probably seen it. It's basically a squat. A one-legged squat hits your hip flexors, hits your glutes, hits your ankle mobility, and it actually maybe jump higher as well. So if you're looking to get faster, more athletic, I highly recommend you use the ATG split squat in your training. RDLs and calf raises and tib raises, I do that as a superset. That really, really hits the ankle mobility. And then cable pulls for your hip flexors, because that's going to make you run extremely fast. and nobody nobody works out their hip flexors. They're like they're the muscle that nobody works out because no one flexes their hip flexors, right? Nobody brags about that, but it's extremely important. And the diet, this is just as important as the training, and it's what I do. And so a lot of times I've tried diets before and they just haven't worked because I've tried to just do everything planned, right? No flexibility, and then it's so hard to stay consistent, right? Because it's very, very difficult. Like when you have things to do, right? Things come up, you go places, to actually like stick with the same meals every single day because people have lives, right? And it's very difficult. So I recommend picking one meal that every day you can control, whether that's breakfast, whether that's lunch, whether that's dinner, that you can actually control. Okay, wait, that just messed up there. Yeah, that's fine. That you can actually control, because for me that's lunch, right? I have 6 eggs and a steak because I know that like I'm by myself at the time because I work from home, and that gives me 100 grams of protein, and it's really like the give or take, right? Because getting 100 grams more protein than I have been getting, that's all I need, right? Whether it's for you, maybe you don't want to have steak and eggs, maybe it's a protein shake, right? Just have one meal where you get 70 grams of protein in, and you'll be fine, and you'll have the flexibility that you can actually stick to this, right? If you just change one meal, you can stick to it way easier, and that's my approach. Okay, it's realistic, it's simple, and if you want a more in-depth training, if you want me to kind of look at what you're doing and customize it and kind of give my insights, then you can click the link below, and we can hop on a call and we can develop you a training plan that you can actually follow, and you can get results just like me. So click the link below if you kind of want me to take an inventory of your training and see if we can kind of help you build some more consistency and get the progress that you want.